We are not off to the best start. So I did get bit on the ass by a turtle. Was bit by, I think, the fourth thing that has bit me on this trip. Oh my god, they're like bugs. Hello my guys, welcome to the Zanzibar vlog. I'm about to be leaving home in about 15 minutes to get myself to the airport. My case is pretty much packed. I just need to zip it up and get it downstairs. And I'm pretty sure the only thing that I still have left to pack is my phone charger, and fingers crossed I don't immediately forget about that as soon as I finish filming this clip. But I'm going to be going to Zanzibar on my most recent Trovatrip that I'm hosting for, I think, 8 days. And then I have also added a 3-day safari onto the end in 3 of the national parks in Tanzania. So I'm really excited about this trip. It's a little bit different for me for a couple of different reasons. The first is that I don't do a lot of beach holidays, so I'm really looking forward to the mix of relaxation and some fun, mainly water-based activities on this one. There's swimming pretty much in every day of the itinerary. And honestly, I am not a strong swimmer, but I do love to be in water, so I'm very excited about it. There is a bunch of like wildlife and nature stuff, a monkey walk in a forest, swimming with dolphins, snorkeling, and I am so excited. And I'm also excited to go on safari. A little bit nervous. I have no idea what to expect apart from obviously animals, but I feel like that is just such a bucket list activity that I'm really excited to get to. So if you guys don't know what Trovatrips are, they are group trips that I host, or not just me, other people do them as well, and you guys can come along. So if that does sound interesting to you after you have watched this vlog, or maybe right now, I have recently launched my next Trovatrip for April or March and April 2026 to South Korea, and you can check that out in my description box. But I need to tell you guys what I'm going to be reading. So I have my Kindle with me. I'm only taking my Kindle, and I have probably about 20 books on there. But the main ones I'm taking with me, I have 5 books from my TBR. I have 3 mood reads, and I have 3 sequels, and then some of the books on my TBR and the mood reads are also sequels. And the first book that I've picked up is The Mistake by Elle Kennedy, which is one of my mood reads. So this one is the second book in the Off-Campus series, which is a series of hockey romances. And honestly, I read The Deal, I think in January or February this year, and I really liked it. So I picked up The Mistake straight after it, and I read like 35% of it, but I just didn't have time to read it and to pursue the mood read. So I put it down, and that's the point where I'm currently going to be picking that one up. I've started with it because I thought it would be good to start by finishing something that I've already started. I can't remember too much about it at this point though. I know it's following Logan, who is obviously one of the hockey players, because that's the point of the whole series, and a girl who is a freshman at the college, and I don't think he's looking for a serious relationship, but I'm assuming that she wins him over. Oh, he's in love with his best friend's girlfriend and he doesn't want to be, but he can't seem to get over it. So that is one of his main obstacles. And this girl, I'm pretty sure, is just trying to lose her virginity. She just kind of wants it over and done with, but somehow these two end up entangled in a relationship with each other. I mean, ideally, I would have this finished before I land, but my flight is at 9:15 p.m. and I'm hoping to sleep through at least the majority of the first flight I'm changing in Dubai. We'll see how it goes. I haven't been sleeping well recently, so I especially don't think I'm going to get a ton of restful sleep on a plane, given that I'm struggling to sleep right now, but fingers crossed. And I'll see you on the flip side. I mean, maybe I'll update you in the airport if there's anything to update on. If not, I'll see you all in Zanzibar. So I'm at my gate at the airport. My flight has already been delayed by 1 hour, so we are not off to the best start. And to be honest, I actually haven't checked it in a couple of hours to see if we're delayed any further. I mean, the waiting room right now is very empty. So there is like another section of the gate where there are a few people sat. There is still 90 minutes until boarding's supposed to start as well, so it's not like a massive shock that there's no one here. I'm kind of just camping and getting some reading done, but I do have a connecting flight. I'm not flying direct. I'm going from here to Dubai and Dubai to Zanzibar, so hopefully we're not delayed any longer, because I do have 3 hours for my connecting flight, just under I think. So I think I'll be fine at this point, but my anxiety cannot handle any longer delays. So I checked in to our first hotel, which is the Forodani Park Hotel in Stonetown about an hour ago now. That last flight was unbearable. It was 5 hours and I booked a window seat because I never get the window seat and then I'm jealous of people taking pictures out the window. So I was like, okay, for this shorter flight, I'll get the window seat. It was horrible. It was like a cramped budget airline style flight and I had these two men blocking me in because I normally always get the aisle seat and it was just horrible. I did nap through most of it, which is fine, but I'm checked in and look at the size of this bed. It's huge. She's massive. It is like a little, I would say a little rustic. The air conditioning is like this little unit that we have up here. And I also have, you can probably hear the noise actually, but I ain't turning it off. I've got a ceiling fan as well. The furniture is kind of cool because it's like this big, dark wood, like solid pieces. In here we have my bathroom. We have to like heat the water, which is crazy. But my favorite thing about the bathroom, it's like very spacious, but it's this. This is kind of iconic. And the shower head looks kind of big, so I'm excited to test this out. And I also like that we have the little seats so I can like shave my legs easier. But I am not going to shower yet. I know I should. I need to get plane scum off me, but I'm actually going to be meeting the people who are already here for dinner. We're getting like tapas and cocktails at 6. So I thought instead of showering now, getting dressed, going out, and then coming back maybe kind of sweaty, I would just go out. I'm going to refresh my makeup a little bit. I might wash my face, but I'm going to go get the cocktails and the tapas. I'm very excited. They've got calamari on the menu. And then shower when I'm back before bed.
Why? I don't know. They're just fun.
So I am pretty much ready for bed. I can't remember if I told you earlier, but we are going on a little excursion, 4 of us, tomorrow morning, first thing, to swim with and feed sea turtles. I'm pretty sure that the location is called Salam Caves. It's one of the only main things that people do in Zanzibar that is not on our itinerary. The other one is swimming with horses, but we'll see how that one goes because I don't swim with horses at home, but there are horses at home. So I don't feel like that's quite as exciting as swimming with and feeding giant sea turtles. But I have to get up really early for that. I have to get up pretty much at 6 at the latest. And as you can imagine, I haven't had a great deal of sleep over the past 24, 36 hours when I've mainly been flying. But I do really need to talk to you guys about books because I've already finished a book on the way here. I finished The Mistake by Elle Kennedy and I didn't love it, which I feel like part of the reason why is because of how disjointed my reading experience was with this. I definitely prefer The Deal at this point to The Mistake and I ended up giving this one 3 stars. I think because I did have to jump into it 35% of the way through, I'd lost any kind of connection I was building with the characters and was kind of just trying to jump back into it at a later point in the book after taking months away. It was still fine. I still really like Elle Kennedy's writing style, but I didn't really feel the chemistry and connection to the characters that I felt with The Deal. So I do also have book 3 in this series on my Kindle as one of my mood read picks. I think that one's The Score that maybe I'll read later on in the trip. But for now, I've reverted back to a book on my TBR and I've started Rouge by Greer Rivers. So this one is a dark mafia type of romance that is it's not quite a retelling, but it's inspired by I think a number of tragic plays. I don't think it's inspired just by one tragic play, but we're following this man called Kian, who is, I think he's like Irish mafia. They have this kind of like mob situation going on where it's a group of families. Is this what a syndicate is? Like, I don't know. I'm not a mafia romance girly. I also don't know much about the mafia in general, like mob movies, not my thing either. But they essentially have these group of families that are very powerful, and 2 of these families hate each other, which is where I'm getting like a bit of a Romeo and Juliet vibe in here. But the male main character, Kian, was supposed to marry our female main character, Lacey. However, her father went into prison, and I can't remember how that affected this relationship. Oh, I think her father told her that his family had called off the wedding, and his family have told him that it was her father that called off the wedding. And he's really bitter about this. And so is she, actually, because she wanted to marry this guy. And then since her father's gone into prison, I think he's the head of like this big crime organization or whatever it is that they're doing. She is now not necessarily damaged goods, but it's harder to find a suitable husband for her because she's not in this position of being the daughter of the leader of this criminal organization like she was to start off with. So she's ended up married or engaged to this really horrible guy, and then Kian ends up with an opportunity to kind of reestablish some power for his own family. So before she's going to marry this other guy, he kidnaps her and drugs her and forces her to marry him instead. It is a little bit of a dark romance, I guess, a mafia crime kind of romance. It isn't my usual thing. This one's a Patreon pick, which is why I picked it up. And honestly, at the minute, aside from anything else, it's also a little bit too smutty for my taste. We've had multiple smutty scenes, and I'm currently, I think, about 30% of the way into this. And I also don't really like the dynamic they've got going on. The organization and the way that women are treated within this organization is not cool. And even though this guy is different, I don't like the way that he's perpetuating some of the sexism that is typical and has been happening for however long within this organization or whatever the fuck it is that they are, including things like punishing her, and it's done in like a sexy way, but I still don't really like the vibe. So we'll see how I go on with that. I may end up DNFing it, but for now, like, I'm fine with it, but I'm not sure if it's for me. It's an easy read. It's not compulsively readable in that I can't stop turning pages, but it's kind of easy to get lost in a little bit, even though I'm not necessarily having a good time when I'm reading it, if that makes any sense. But anyway, I'm going to finish my episode of Vanderpump Rules. I'm on episode 3 of season 5. I've had requests in my comments for updates on where I'm up to in Vanderpump Rules. So I'm up to season 5 now. I've just started it on my flights over here, and I am still eating it up. I'm still a fan of both of the Toms. I'm kind of reluctant to talk about Vanderpump Rules in videos because I really don't want to be spoiled. I know about Scandival, but I don't know who exactly it entails and how exactly it unfolds. And I don't know anything else apart from that. So I really just like don't say anything within the comments. But I'm still a fan of the Toms, and I actually quite like Lala right now. I hate James. Haven't liked Kristen since like season 2, I think. And Katie was okay, like I didn't really care much about her until season 4 when I really liked her, and now I'm starting to dislike her again. And what is the common denominator there? It's Stassi, who I also intensely dislike. But yeah, I'm going to carry on with this episode, which I have 17 minutes left of, and then I'm going to get myself some sleep.
To you, everyone. Get a cocked. Put that in the vlog. Welcome to the breakfast moped. Yeah, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
I am once again coming to you guys from my mosquito net fort just to let you know that I had a really good day today. I loved swimming with the turtles at Salam Caves. I did get bit on the ass by a turtle, but I'm not mad about it, really. Honestly, probably going to be one of the highlights of my trip because it isn't every day that you get bit on the ass by a sea turtle, let's be real. So yeah, I mean, it's a story if nothing else. And the place that we went to see them, the Turtle Sanctuary, was really beautiful. The water's like really clear. There are birds in there as well, which we have somebody on our trip, Candice, who I have traveled with before. I love Candice. Hi, Candice. She is a bird expert, and I think she said that they're weavers. They were yellow and they were pretty. And they were there. And then we came back. We spent 3 hours in the pool. I actually have some pretty dramatic tan lines from that. And then we went for dinner, which was fun. So I am going to get some sleep. I've got half an episode of Vanderpump Rules left that I kind of want to watch, but I should read a little bit of my book, which I'm still not really enjoying. I did jump into it in the pool, and it was like straight into a smut scene, and I'm like, this is a shock to the system, man. This is not what I was expecting right now. I don't know what else to expect, but that is what was going on. So we'll kind of see what I do. I am quite tired, so I'm not going to do very much. And we have a new tour guide. We never met the original one. We have 2 tour guides, I should start off with. And then we had the main one that was going to like take us out, because one is responsible for like logistics. One, I think, is more of like the guide that's going to take us around and escort us places. And he has been injured. So we have a new guide that we're going to be meeting tomorrow morning for a tour of Stone Town. And then we're going to Nakupenda Sandbank, where there's going to be snorkeling. I'm pretty sure it's like essentially a strip of sand where when the tide is low, it appears, and when the tide is high, it disappears. And they're going to prepare us like a picnic lunch there. So I'm very excited, because honestly, considering I can't really swim, I'm very invested in the swimming in this trip, if that makes any sense at all. So I am very much looking forward to that. And I need to get myself some rest, because I didn't sleep very well last night. The hotel that we're in only has 19 rooms, and we're taking up 13 of them. So I thought that I was the only person here, because I hadn't seen any other guests the entire time that I'd been here, because I was in this hotel a day early. The other people that had stayed an extra night had just booked like random hotels around, and I was woken up at 11:30 last night by like people coming into the lobby and speaking really loudly, because the lobby goes like straight up. It's like a spiral staircase, but it's more of a square than a spiral, and the sound echoes all the way up. And all of these people were in the hotel, and I was like so confused, because I thought that I was the only guest, but apparently I wasn't. So it freaked me out a little bit. And I didn't get the most sleep, but I feel a little better now knowing that if there is noise, there is other people in the hotel. I know for sure that there is, and it won't freak me out so much, hopefully. So yeah, I'm excited to get a good sleep, but I am only going to get 8 hours, which is ample as what I normally get. But I feel like because I feel like every update, I'm like, I haven't slept very well, but I could do with at some point probably like a good 10-hour sleep to reset myself. After a couple of sleep-deprived days.
Fuji Island is the one that we are now. It has a size of 1,066 square kilometers. The other one is Pemba. It has a size of 850 square kilometers. All 51 remaining islands, they are sub-islands, like that one. That one there.
Oh yeah.
That is Grave Island. That small one is Snake Island. Here at the middle, that is Prison Island. And there is Bawe Island. We also have Nemba Island. Many more islands. Kojani Islands, Tumbatu Islands, almost 51 sub-islands in Zanzibar.
These days, it's not easy.
Y'all were around for any of the vlogs that I did for China, so either the vlog for China itself or the episode of Shelve It or Scrap It that I partially filmed in China, you will know that there is a little segment throughout that trip that we kept coming back to, which is me repacking my entire suitcase while I talk to you about books. So we're going to revisit that right now, because I have DNF'd Rouge by Greer Rivers. I was fine for the first 30%. And normally that is the kind of book that I don't really mind when I'm dipping in and out of it, because it's not like super holding my attention, easy to read, all the things I said about it before. However, every time I open the book, and let's be honest, I tried to read a little bit in the pool yesterday. I think I read like 1 chapter. And then today I opened it up to read a chapter before we went for dinner, which was so nice. We went to this Indian restaurant that is right next to our hotel, because one of the travelers on this trip, who is Camilla, Candace's sister, we talked about Candace last night. Camilla is Candace's sister, and Camilla has been to Zanzibar twice before, and this restaurant is one that she had been to previously and loved, and she was right, it is really good. But anyway, back to the point. I tried to read a chapter of Rouge before we went out to dinner. So truly not much has been read since I actually got to Zanzibar. And every time I've picked it up over the last couple of days, we've been in the middle of a sex scene, which considering it's only like 2 chapters that I've read, kind of makes sense. But every time I picked it up in the middle of this sex scene, I was like, ugh, do I really have to read this? And I just don't really like the dynamic between these two people. And I also don't think necessarily that mafia romance is for me. Now, I have read some mafia romance that I have enjoyed, mainly for the addictive nature of the writing. And like, you know how some authors, they just have a writing style that you love and maybe you can't articulate why? I feel like those are the instances where I have enjoyed mafia romance in the past. And Greer Rivers doesn't really have that for me. I also think the mafia romance I've enjoyed in the past has had a little bit more of a lead up to the sex, and at this point I'm 34%, like 155 pages into Rouge, and I think I was in the middle, or actually at the end of the 3rd sex scene in the book so far. So I've decided that I'm going to be putting that one down. And right now I've picked up Rebel Witch by Kristen Cicerelli, which is the sequel to The Crimson Moth. I'm like 1 chapter in. I'm wondering whether I should continue on with this because it is a sequel to one of my favorite books of last year. And generally I've heard that Rebel Witch isn't as good, but also I'm wondering if I can give it the attention that I need to or would like to, and whether reading a book like that on a trip is going to impact my enjoyment. So I'll see how I go. One of the main reasons why I actually really want to read this book as soon as possible is because I can't connect my Kindle back to the internet until I've read it, because I borrowed it on Libby and it should have been returned like a few days ago. But it's like a mood read for the month as well. It's not on my TBR, but I of course wanted to read it. A cat screaming out there, or people? And so while it wouldn't be the ideal book to read on this trip, I would like to have it done before I go home so that I can update my Kindle when I get home. But this one, if you guys don't know what Crimson Moth is about, it is a romantasy about a witch and a witch hunter. So it is set in this world where... That's cats, man. I don't think you can hear it, but it's intense. It's set in a world where witches used to rule, and they did some pretty terrible things. Like, they abused their power, and because of that, a group of witch hunters rose up and removed them from power. Now, this only happened probably a handful of years. I want to say maybe 6 years before the start of the series, and our main character, Rune's grandmother, was a witch. Now, witch powers blossom, I think, sometime around puberty, so Rune didn't know that she herself was a witch, but she did have to turn over her grandmother for her own safety. And her grandmother did consent to this. It was like the best thing for her granddaughter. So since then, and since she's come into her power, she has dedicated her life to saving witches that have been captured by the witch hunters from execution. And she does this under this like vigilante name of the Crimson Moth. Now, our love interest in this is Gideon, and he is the leader of the witch hunters, and he has a personal reason for disliking witches. So his mission is to take down the Crimson Moth. And one of his friends suggests that maybe Rune could be this vigilante figure. And so he starts fake dating her to see if she is, while she is fake dating him to gain information on where a powerful witch is being kept so that she can free her. And obviously, even though these two shouldn't fall for each other, they end up being irrevocably drawn to each other. I loved book 1. I've heard there's some plot holes in book 2, which obviously isn't great, but getting into it like straight away, I really enjoyed like the first chapter, and I am eager to continue. If it does get to the point, them cats need to calm the fuck down. If it does get to a point where it's becoming a little bit too difficult for me to follow, though, I will put it down for a little while and pick up one of the like romances probably again. I have like some summer romances on my Kindle to read in this trip. But for right now, we are going with the Crimson Moth. So in terms of itinerary, today we did the tour of Stonetown, which was cool. I really like the vibe of Stonetown, actually. And then we went to the Nakupanda Sandbank. We had the lunch, which was seafood, chicken, rice. The chips were really nice, and I think it's because they were fried in a lot of oil. We swam in the ocean, which was great, and then we went snorkeling just a little bit off the sandbank. You know, we're gonna go look at these cats, man. I can't anymore. What the fuck? Oh my god, I can see them. Can I open this? I mean, I know I can. I don't know if you can see them. They're like right here, and I don't know if they're fighting or like trying to get freaky, but they need to calm the fuck down. I can see the eyes glowing. Go to bed, guys. So we did some snorkeling, which is fine because the ocean here is pretty salty. It's kind of buoyant enough for me to get by, but it was really funny. As usual, when I go swimming, people make fun of me because I never learned how to swim. I did have lessons and I wasn't very good, but then I kind of just got into water one day and realized that swimming and floating is kind of instinctual, but I'm not very good at it. So I also struggled to get back into the boat, which was also really funny. I had a really good time because the thing about me as well is that even though I can't swim, I love just splashing around and playing in water, and that is very much the vibe of this trip. So tomorrow we're going to be going on a spice farm tour before we move to our next hotel, which I'm really excited about because I've heard very good things about it, and it also has because it's a resort, there's a ton of cool stuff that you can do there.
So we will start our tour from here, this place. We will see all trees around here and some plants. So guess what?
It smells good, but I don't know what it is. It smells like tree. I can almost guess.
Is it bay leaf?
No, it feels like it's sweeter than that.
What am I going to get?
Oh,
I'm going to get another one.
cloves.
Then you get.
Oh, that's so good. I want to take this with me forever.
He liked to travel from different countries. So one day he went to Mogadishu. So when he got back here in Zanzibar, he came with the gift of this tree to Hawaii, to the Queen. So that's the first reason. But the second reason, we use this tree all from leaves until tree. We use leaves to add in the tea, to add in the coffee as a marination to get a good aroma. Also, we use the bark as a marination to meat and fish. We grind it to get powder. We dry and grind it to get powder. So we add powder in the sauce, biryani, pilau, and so forth. But we also use the root of this tree as a Vicks vapor up to someone with flu. It smells completely as a Vicks. We can see. We use this one in a different use. We make vanilla essence with it in baking, something like a cake and breads. We add in the juice. We add in that one lemongrass tea. After taking lemongrass tea, you add a small piece of vanilla there. It smells very good. We add in the salad and we make marmalade. But when it's ripened like this, we eat as a fruit and also we make a juice. It's salt to say sweet.
Is it good?
It's not bad. It's
It's a little sour, but it's good.
sour.
It looks like a snowflake.
But like,
It's trying.
I'm the one who gets the slightly
Like
Oh,
as
it
sour
is
as the
like-
first thing.
It's not too bad.
Like it's not bad. I'll still eat the whole thing. You know.
It is sour, but also the flavor's really nice.
Yeah.
Tastes like an ice wally.
It is very
almost.
fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
kind
kind
of.
of.
It's
It's like very refreshing.
Wageni wakaribishwa Zanzibar yetu, hakuna matata. Oyo oyo jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Ati wageni wakaribishwa Zanzibar yetu, hakuna matata. Nchi ya kupendeza, hakuna matata. Atakaye na aje, hakuna matata. Zanzibar yetu nzuri, hakuna matata. Hakuna matata, hakuna matata.
I want you, I love it so bad. I need you to need me so bad. I love when you want it so bad. I need you to need this so bad. It's not easy, easy, easy. Ooh, 'cause you say don't mean nothing. Doesn't mean summer. Where have you gone? I love to sing this song. This song.
Hakuna?
Matata!
Okay, see, okay. Hakuna. Hakuna.
Wow.
Hakuna. Matata. Hello, America. Welcome, Zanzibar. Don't
He's coming
worry,
back.
be happy. Ah, is it okay? Ah, is it okay?
Wow.
Is it okay? Is it okay? Is it okay? Is it okay?
So I've just arrived at my next hotel, which is the Kendra Rocks Resort in Noongri. This is the hotel that I've been the most excited about. I've heard very good things. And so far it's delivering. The check-in process was a little bit chaotic. They had all of these forms and they said like 2 and 1 guests per room on them. And kind of everyone was given one, but not the people that necessarily should have had the right amount of guests. So who knows whether I'm gonna have to swap with somebody because this is a 2-guest room. And they've actually made up this little bed here, which I obviously will not be using, but then look at this bed. The bed that I will be using is pretty stunning, right? We also have, because this is clearly a sitting area, there's a chair, we have a little desk over here, and then the toilet and shower room is separate. I'm real happy with the shower. You can hear the birds outside. I'm excited to get in this bad boy. And then over this side we have a separate toilet with a little sink. It's really cute. I'm on the ground floor, which I don't love being on the ground floor at the hotel. I like to be like higher up, but it's whatever, that's just personal preference. We also have though this cute little seating area out here, which I feel would be quite nice to sit at in the morning. Saying that though, our pickup tomorrow is 8 a.m. So I don't think I'm actually going to be spending much time sitting there because breakfast is 7 to 10. So it's going to be like a case of getting up at 6, getting dressed, getting ready, heading straight out. But that should mean that we have a lot of time in the afternoon, the evening to enjoy the pool and the beach and all of that. Right now I'm starving. Like I had breakfast and I ate a coconut at the farm tour and it's now like 3:30. Unfortunately, the hotel restaurant closes for lunch at 3:30 and then doesn't open until 7:30. But I think because this is such a big resort, there's like loads of different places we can go, like beach bars and stuff. So we're gonna go see if we can grab some food down there somewhere.
How to start? You turn on the key. Okay, this is the key. You turn on the key. You hold them both brakes. And the yellow button here to start.
Not dead. It's not dead. He's got little legs. Don't touch me. Ah! Oh my god, that's so cool!
I'm just putting on a very small amount of makeup for dinner. I say it's for dinner. I've really only been wearing a small amount of makeup anyway throughout this entire trip because with the sun, I luckily do not need to worry too much about foundation. But today we did the quad bike excursion, which was really fun. I had a good time doing that. A little bit of a thrill. We weren't going incredibly fast and we didn't do off-roading, but we saw some nice scenery. We went off the beaten path a little bit and had a good time. And then after that, we came back to the hotel and we had lunch. And then comes the highlight of my trip, which I just got back from. I've just showered. We noticed there was an inflatable like assault course in the ocean. So we'd seen it yesterday, but we were kind of like, we got here kind of late yesterday and we were kind of sorting ourselves out. We didn't do anything about it then, but then today we had the afternoon free. So we were like, what can we go do? And we decided to inquire about that, and they literally open tomorrow. The guy was like, we just got our insurance documents through today, so if you guys want to go, be the first people on this course. We're doing a 50% off offer. It cost us like $10 each because there were 6 of us as well, so we discounted it even further. And I had the time of my life. I'll see if I can insert any footage because I know Deb and Veronica were gems, and they held our stuff, which was amazing in and of itself. But then they also just stood on the beach and watched us do this course, which was the funniest thing I have ever done. And you've heard me say this before when I talk about trips and things, like I like doing things. I like city trips to experience city life. Like I like cities in general. Even in the UK, I love to be in a city. But when it comes to my ideal holiday, like I like experiences, which is why this one is such a good one for me. And I also, as I'm pretty sure I've mentioned in this vlog, I love to play in water. So this was essentially the ultimate playing in water. We had such a laugh. We fell all over the place. They gave us life jackets, so it truly was not difficult to stay afloat. And I had a blast. Like it was such a laugh. 10 out of 10 would do it again. Tomorrow on the itinerary, we have snorkeling with dolphins, hopefully with dolphins. I mean, we can't make them be there. And then we have like lunch on an island. It's also Rachel's birthday tomorrow. I believe there's a surprise planned, and Candace's birthday on Thursday actually. So we have 2 birthdays this trip to celebrate, which is going to be really exciting as well. But hopefully we're thinking if we're back early enough, because the 50% deal on this inflatable course is tomorrow as well, we may go for round 2, because honestly it was a blast. Best thing I've done so far. I had such a good time. I feel like I am going to be sore in the morning.
I've been itching, something's missing, feel left drifting, and I've been wondering where I could visit. Booked a ticket, cause I miss it, got me wishing that we were on a vacation to the places, the secret places no one used to go but us. Like the nape of your neck and that scar I love to touch. You love to
Oh my god, they're gonna set it on fire now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rachel. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
at the small of my back, swim through my fingers, get lost in my mind. I've been itching, something's missing, feel left drifting, and I've been wondering where I could visit. Booked a ticket, 'cause I miss it. Got me wishing that we were on a vacation. Da 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 da.
Would you like to do? That's very good. That's very good.
Ooh, I've been itching, something's missing. Feel left drifting, and I've been wondering where I could visit. Booked a ticket, 'cause I miss it. Got me wishing that we were on a vacation to the place.
So we have arrived at the final hotel for this portion of the trip, like the Trova portion, because I am going to be continuing on to the mainland for a 3-day safari when we're done here. This hotel, I actually can't remember the name of it. We were supposed to be in one called the Crystal Resort, I think, but I believe it is being renovated, and they assumed that they would have finished the renovations by the time we arrived, and they have not. So they couldn't accommodate us, and they have instead upgraded us to a 5-star hotel, which I'm obviously not at all mad about. This one is called something like the Monaco Resort. It's real nice. I'm really excited to get changed and head down to the pool and the beach and explore. And the room is real nice so far as well. I'm sad though, because we only have 2 nights here, and the second night I'm actually going to be going like in the middle of the night because I need to catch my flight to Arusha to start the safari. Before I give you a tour of the room though, just a little bit of an update. I know I didn't speak to you guys yesterday. We went out on the boat yesterday. We did some snorkeling. We actually saw dolphins, which was great. It was part of the itinerary yesterday, but dolphin watching is apparently quite competitive. Everybody kind of wants to be the people swimming with the dolphins. So we kind of was like, you know what, we're okay to just like view them from afar, and we moved on and went snorkeling, and the dolphins actually came to us, which was amazing. But it was like a 2-hour boat ride there. We did some snorkeling. It was high tide, so the sandbank wasn't available. We had lunch on the boat, did some swimming. We came back for like a 2-hour sailing, like I guess like relaxing sailing journey, and a lot of us fell asleep on top of the boat, so we're all a little crispy today, and we all got just a little bit of sunstroke. Hormonally, I'm not feeling amazing right now as well. So I think a combination of being in the sun for a little too long yesterday, as well as the fact that my hormones are a little all over the place. I was very, very tired last night. It was Rachel's birthday, so we had a birthday dinner with cake. That was really, really cool. And then when I got back to my room, I was supposed to pack for us transferring hotels. I passed the fuck out and slept for 9.5 hours. And then today we went on the monkey walk. I slept the hour and a half drive there. We did the monkey walk, and then I had a little tiny nap on the 20-minute drive to this hotel. So your girl is a sleepy one at the minute, and that's pretty much why you've had a little less exposure to my face over the last couple of days. I'm feeling okay though. I'm getting a little bit of a headache, but I also haven't had coffee for 2 days because the anti-malarials, when they tell you get side effects, they don't tell you when they hit. But I've discovered pretty much on this trip that about the 1 week mark is where things are going to get a little rough for you if they are. Honestly, nothing too terrible, and I'm managing it. I'm managing just fine, but I have been leaving off the coffee in the morning, especially yesterday. I was very, very anxious yesterday, which is hormonal. And so now I'm kind of paying for it because I have a little bit of caffeine headache. So I'm going to get changed in pool wear, and I'm going to explore the hotel a little bit. I have no idea what that was, and kind of see what everyone else is up to, and probably lounge by the beach or the pool, see if I can grab a coffee or something to ease this headache. I'm going to take some Nurofen as well. But for the room tour, I seem to have gotten the honeymoon suite. We have this chair over here that I've dumped my bag on. There's the bed and stuff that you've just kind of been viewing with me in front. Got some sort of like honeymoon suite arrangement going on here. Oh, they've also left me a can of mosquito spray, which is very nice. There's also this balcony area, which I'm not going to be able to get out to show you because the door's quite stiff and I can't hold the camera and get out at the same time. But this is really lovely and I enjoy it. Going to get my bikini out there drying because it's still damp. And over here, the full-length mirror is appreciated for those fit checks. Another little mirror over here. It reminds me of like a little like American home style apartment, if I'm being honest. And then we have a very nice sink area, a lot of echo in here. Nothing over here apart from the toilet, which isn't exciting. And the shower looks enjoyable, and I'll definitely be getting in there and freshening up before my safari. But I am gonna get changed, gonna see what I can see before dinner. It's Candace's birthday today, and we'll see what I get up to. In terms of reading, I've read nothing, like literally maybe half a chapter. Considering I thought this trip would have a lot of relaxation stuff, we truly have been busier than I expected, and so very little reading has been done. I'm having a great time though, like honestly. Some of the hotels, this one and the last one especially, are absolutely stunning, and I spent less than an hour in my room in a day in the last hotel we were in, aside from obviously sleeping in it. But throughout the day, I'm literally dipping in, getting changed, heading straight back out, and that's the way it should be. That's how you can tell you're having a good time.
My sister will be forever 11, maybe even 7. It's actually really hard to think that she's 30 because it's it's wild. It's really wild. We've been on a lot of adventures together over the years, but this is the first one of its kind, and I'm really glad that we came to do this, and I'm really glad that we got to spend it with all of you. And thank you for each and every one of you adding your special magic to what has been a very special week, and one 30th birthday to remember forever. And Candace, I just want to say that I love you very much and I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
And thank you for this amazing time, and I just wish you every success going forward. And you don't drink, so you don't have to worry about 30s hangovers. We need to make sure that happens at least once.
Not tonight.
Not tonight, but at least once. And just every success. And I just can't believe that you're 30.
Thank you.
Come here, give me a hug. My sister hates hugs.
Hakuna matata, say jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana, wageni wakaribishwa, Monica yetu, hakuna matata. Jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana, wageni wakaribishwa, Monica yetu, hakuna matata. Wageni karibuni, hakuna matata. Tunawapenda wote. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
It's like 2 penis drops. Why are they so smooth? Oh, the water from the top is dripping on it. Hello, the lighting is actually not too bad, even though the sun is setting. I am in my pajamas, but I'm not going to bed. I have spent most of the day by the pool. We had a small excursion this morning to the Kuza Caves for some swimming, where I was bit by, I think, the 4th thing that has bit me on this trip. So we had the turtle when I swam with them. We had a mosquito bite, which I think was later that day. We then had the ant in my trousers at the forest, which was really upsetting and my least favorite. And then the cave had these little, like the guide called them fish, but I feel like they were more like tiny little crustaceans or something, like little mini baby prawn like species. But we swam in there for maybe 40 minutes to an hour, came back, spent the day by the pool, and now I've had a shower and I'm packing for my safari, which starts tomorrow. So today is the last day of the Trova portion of this trip. I'm really excited though, because we're going to a restaurant called The Rock, which is literally like on a rock in the ocean, and it's quite famous in Zanzibar, and the menu looks really exciting. So I've already picked what I'm having ahead of time. I have like some, I think it's prawn and squid tempura for a starter. I'm having quite a boring main, but I just couldn't decide what I wanted, so I went for I think they're like Zanzibar style chicken skewers and Lyonnaise potatoes. So I originally wanted prawn gnocchi, but I'm already having prawn for my starter, so we mixed it up with some chicken. And then for dessert, I'm having coconut tiramisu, which sounds very, very exciting. So we're going there. That is going to be the last thing that we do. And unlike most of the trips that I go on or I host, that is going to be the last time that I see the majority of the people who are here, which is really sad. I've had a really good time this week because my transfer is at 5 a.m. to catch a flight to Arusha to start my safari, which I'm a little bit nervous about. Never been on safari before. We've booked this obviously through a safari company, but like I'm very familiar with Trovatrip and the way Trovatrip works. So booking through just anything through a different company is making me a little bit nervous. I'm sure everything's going to be fine. It's just me as an anxious person. So I'm going to be up bright and early to get that transfer. And that's why I'm packing the majority of my things now. But the reason why I'm talking to you right now is specifically because our guide, Maggie, we actually have two, which I'm pretty sure I will have told you at this point. We've got Ahmed, who takes us out on excursions and does the guiding like on the ground. And then we have Maggie, who's doing all of the logistics. And she got these bags for us all. There was 3 different colors, but they all have our names on. So I got a blue one. They also had black and like a natural color, and I wanted to show you guys because it's really cute before I pack it into my case and forget about it. So I'm going to carry on getting myself organized. I will show you the food I'm going to eat because I'm sure it's going to be stunning, and aside from that, I'll see you on safari.
Every time I think of summertime, girl, I think of you. I think of caramel skin, your curly hair, and 3 bird tattoos. Every time I scroll through a photo album, I always feel nostalgia mixed with emptiness, cause we thought we were limitless. But now, oh now, I wonder if you think of me, or am I just a memory? If so, please don't tell me, cause I've been holding on to fantasies that we could be together for eternity. I just had to leave and get my grad degree. Sweet home California, baby, how I miss the beach. Been in New York City 7 days and I can't even sleep. Sweet home California, miss that sunshine on my skin. I've been daydreaming about you and me and what we could have been. Oh, you know, I'll make it back to you. I'll make it back to you one day.
All the broken trees, this work has been done by elephant.
Oh. Why?
Much power while they are trying to reach the upper part of the leaves.
By the waist, my darling, but now summer's here. My baby's nowhere near. My hand feels empty like the home that she left, empty like the hole in my chest. Now, oh now, I wonder if you think of me, or am I just a memory? If so, please don't tell me, cause I've been holding on to fantasies that we could be together for eternity. I just had to leave and get my grad degree. Sweet home California, baby, how I miss the beach. Been in New York City 7 days and I can't even sleep. Sweet home California, miss that sunshine on my skin. I've been daydreaming about you and me and what we could have been. Oh, you know, I'll make it back to you. I'll make it back to you one day. Oh, you know, I'll make it back to you. I'll make it back to you.
I still need to recover from another lover. Would you be here for me? Never met your parents, not even your mother, but let's see where this leads. What should we do tonight? What if this breaks your little heart in mine? What should we do tonight? Let's just find out. Pretty What shall we do tonight? What if this breaks your little heart in mine? What shall we do tonight? Let's just find out. Pretty blue jeans and me, running through evergreen, running through evergreen. Pretty blue jeans and me, yeah, she's what I need. I still need to recover from another lover.
So we have arrived at our hotel in, I think the town area we're in is called Karatu, after the first day of our safari, which was amazing. We saw so many elephants, which was really cool, as well as... Was that you or was that next door? That's scary. Yeah, we also saw giraffes and zebras, ostriches, some of the like antelope and things like that, which was really cool. My favorite thing for today was the elephants for sure. But we've just checked into this really cute little like safari lodge that has like a big lodge building where all the food is, but like a botanical garden outside, which I'll show you when we walk down to dinner. But this is our room. It's kind of cute. It's a little, I'd say like a little boutique-y, but I have a roommate. I have to share.
How tough.
I know I don't like to share. I'm an only child. What are they doing in there? Oh no, the beds look really cute. They do. I like them. I was thinking that we'd have to share, so I'm glad that we have twins. Quite big ones as well. The bathroom is interesting because it's like, I don't know, like a restaurant bathroom or something in a hotel room. So we have like a sink area, but then also like a separate toilet cubicle and also a pretty big shower cubicle as well. The tiles are intriguing because we have these ones here, which I actually really like. They're really nice. Some cool like African animal ones as well on these walls. So, I mean, I still don't have any reading updates for you. I'm 30 pages into Rebel Witch, but our plan, because it's just us two now, so what we're going to do is go get dinner. And we got up at 4 this morning, and I have like aggressively napped throughout the day on a lot of different vehicles, but I just want to have a shower and rot in bed. So maybe I'll read. I'll probably scroll Instagram, but maybe I'll read.
Was I a good one? A daydream? The music from down the hall. Oh, you're running there? Yes.
Oh, the
wildebeest down there. In the middle, he has the cow, the wildebeest are in front. Crashing down, like it's simple, like I've known it all along. Like I've counted on my fingers all the times that it's gone. Oh, I wish that I could give you what you want. And I thought that I'd be strong enough. I'm not anymore. Then an old home for you. Do you remember your birthday when you turned 23? You were crying on my counter. You were begging me to leave, but I kissed your hands and told you I would stay till the end. It turns out I'm a liar. I just couldn't understand how to tell myself the truth and let it ride. Oh, I told myself I'm something that I'm not anymore. Been in the boardroom for you.
Oh my god. His face.
Every Sunday I used to watch cartoons, but now I'm here waking up with you. I would get excited about my favorite show. Now you're the only thing I wanna watch, and all I want.
Hello guys, it is very early in the morning on our final day of safari. It's like 8:15. We got in the van at 7 and we are waiting for the people who are going to be joining us today. So I thought I would do a little bit of an update. I have actually read some of my book. I'm not going to tell you about it right now. Maybe at the airport, because we're at the airport for like 8 hours later. Waiting for our international flight home. So we're flying from Kilimanjaro to Zanzibar, and then we have like 8 hours where there was just really no point getting a hotel before our flight back to the UK via Dubai. So maybe in the airport I'll tell you about my book, because I am 27% of the way into it. But today we are going to Lake Manyara. We didn't see a rhino yesterday, which was sad, because I actually don't think that there's a possibility of seeing one today. But I think the main animals in this park are elephants, giraffes, zebra, lions. I don't think lions are as common as they are in the crater. Oh, but they climb the trees, which is apparently unique to this location. So I'm sure it's going to be a great day. I've had a great time on safari so far, but I'm kind of ready to go home now. I am missing the comfort of my home. So even though it's going to take us from the flight that we have to Zanzibar, it's 25 hours until I land in Manchester, and then I have a 2-hour drive home, and I'm not going to see a bed between them. It is sad, but we'll make it through, and I'll check in with you guys at some point in the middle of all that delirium, I guess.
Now you're the only thing I wanna watch, and all I wanna know. And take me to a movie, a matinee, walk out in the middle, laughing all the way. Cause you thrill me, you chill me out. Got no reason to pretend I'm somewhere with someone else when you're around. You heal me, you feel me. I'm exactly who I wanna be when I'm with you. You make me feel I'm more than enough. To me that's love. Every Friday I'd go out for an evening on the town, looking for someone, anyone, to call my name out loud. I'd get anxious, no one knows me, standing in the crowd. Now I've got your eyes to see mine, and your voice to calm me down. And take me to a movie, a matinee, walk out in the middle, laughing all the way. Cause you thrill me, you chill me out. Got no reason to pretend I'm somewhere with someone else when you're around. You heal me, you feel me. I'm exactly who I wanna be when I'm with you. You make me feel I'm more than enough. To me that
On aura eu toute la famille. Waouh.
Ça va pas ou quoi là?
Oh, so fun. Oh, encore, oh, encore, oh, encore. Oh, il y a tout bien. Oh, regardez le bébé. Vous avez vu le bébé sur le dos de maman? Perfect.
There's something here, that's what the land.
Yeah, do you think they're running?
Yeah. They're nice or something.
Oh my god. Big one.
So I'm in Zanzibar airport and it is like 4 a.m. It's almost 4 a.m. and I'm like 12 hours into my 31-hour journey back to England, and I'm feeling it because I've only napped briefly since I woke up yesterday at like 6 a.m. But I have read quite a bit of my book, as I mentioned to you guys. So I'm like 180 pages into Rebel Witch now, and I've just hit part 2. And I'm really enjoying it so far. It kind of not dives straight into the romance, but it really recaptures the sexual tension between our two main characters that we established in book 1, which I actually didn't expect us to get right into the thick of that based on where we left things in book 1. I really thought that we were going to have a time of like separation where they weren't really interacting with each other at that point. So it was really good to see that we were going to jump right back into the action in that regard, because it is of course one of my favorite elements of the first book. I really liked the romance in book 1. I am a little bit trepidatious going into the rest of this book though, because I have heard the general consensus on this one is that the second half is not as good as the first. I think a lot of people didn't like how romance focused this was necessarily, but like I said, as I'm such a fan of the romance, I'm really enjoying it at this point. I actually forgot a lot about the character of Gideon, and I'm really enjoying getting reacquainted with him. Like some of the elements of his character that I really enjoyed in the first book is like all kind of coming back to me in book 2. So I just wanted to check in with you guys and let you know kind of where we're at this point before I carry on, and because my plan at this point is to finish it before I get home, because I have a book club book that I need to start pretty much immediately when I touch down and get back home, and this is like quite an anticipated release for me, so I kind of want to give you some thoughts.
Tell me when.
I am home, which I'm very happy about after my 31 hours of travel. I am still very tired though, because my 31 hours actually turned into 33 as we stopped at the Trafford Centre on the way back from the airport to get some food. So I only got home at around midnight, and me being just delulu booked a vet appointment for Brie and Hamilton at 9:15 this morning for their vaccinations. So I got up at 8:30 when I really could have done with sleeping a little bit longer. But I'm committed to the day now. I've just pretty much gotten back from the vet, so I'm going to get a workout in. I'm going to have a bath, and then I'm going to get some reading done because I really just want to cozy up today and do a bit of reading. Honestly, as well, when I got home last night, I wanted to fall straight into bed, but not showering was not an option because I did not need dry shampoo on safari, guys. It was only a 3-day safari, 2 nights. So I washed my hair the day before we went, and I intended to just wash it when I came back, which is what I did. But the amount of dust in my hair meant that I did not need dry shampoo that entire time. It was like, you could feel it. It was a lot. So there was no way that I was getting into bed without showering. So I only, I think, managed to get into bed and get to sleep at probably about 1:30, and I got up at 8:30 for the vets. But here we are. So I did not manage to finish Rebel Witch, but I'm at like 89%. So my plan after I've got a workout in is to probably finish it in the bath and then bring you guys my final thoughts afterwards. Right now, where I'm up to, I do understand the criticisms with this one. I do enjoy that it is heavily romance focused, but in terms of the plot, it feels a little bit rushed. I don't know if it's convenient or whether everything is just coming a little bit too easy for everybody. And the way that we're progressing through plot points, there's like jumps in between. So you're cutting out pretty much any kind of traveling scene, any kind of slow moments between these plot points. We're literally like jumping across countries and locations and skipping like weeks of time to kind of hit the highlights of this plot. While that is disappointing, I don't think it's especially surprising, because when I read The Crimson Moth, I remember thinking that the end was very rushed. So I'm not sure that Kristen Cicerelli's strength is within the plot pacing, because I just remember that the end of Crimson Moth was very, very chaotic, a little bit all over the place, and there was just like a lot happening and it felt a little bit jarring. And I think because the sequel to this, with it just being a duology, is obviously more action-packed, more plot-focused, that is just a lot more noticeable than it was in the first book. So right now I'm sitting at 3 or 4 stars. I'm still incredibly attached to the characters, and I do really like the romance in this series. I do think that the characters are being forced into a lot of situations for the sake of tension. There is a lot of miscommunication and like avoidance tactics within their relationship to prolong the tension throughout this book. But I think I am more likely to rate this a little bit more favorably because I love book 1 so much and I'm attached to the characters. But plot-wise, it's not really holding up to the 5-star rating that I gave book 1. But I did say when I read book 1 that it wasn't a perfect book. But we will come back to my final thoughts on that when I've actually finished it. Right now, I would like to show you the things that I came back from Zanzibar and Tanzania with that I haven't shown you yet. So at the end of our safari, we were gifted these water bottles, which is a super nice gift. It has my name etched on it. I also really, really love the color of this. So thank you to Fondness Vacations. I say this as though they're going to watch this vlog, but thank you to Fondness Vacations for the little thoughtful gift. I had a great time on safari. I will say in terms of the parks that we'd visited, Lake Manyara was a little bit underwhelming, which is where we spent our final day, because that park has been reduced in size greatly because the lake is continuing to come in and it's like pushing back the game drive routes and also like all of the animals, and also because of the time of year that it was, a lot of the animals had gone to the Tarangire. So it was like probably it was definitely the most overwhelming park that we visited, especially off the back of Tarangire and the Ngorongoro crater, which I loved and was like kind of blown away by. But definitely for sure I do plan to go back and do a few days at the Serengeti at some point, and I know that would have been a phenomenal experience if we'd have had time to cover it in this trip. I just didn't really want to be away from home any longer than I already was. Like 10 days to 2 weeks is enough time for me because I am a homebody. I said this before, I love to get out there and adventure, and when I'm out there I'm in my element, but I also really like to come home as well. A couple of other things that I picked up on my trip, safari related, I got a couple of bookmarks. I got this one for myself, and my best friend is obsessed with giraffes, so I picked up this one for him as well. I also got a painting in Zanzibar of a Zanzibar door. I picked up some black tea from Zanzibar as well. They also sell this in the airport, but it's chocolate and coconut tea, which I have had before from Bird and Blend. It's one of my favorite Bird and Blend teas, and I do specifically I like some green teas, specifically sweet ones, but black tea is my favorite, so I got this to try and I hope that I really enjoy it. And then from safari as well, I got this decorative plate with hippos on, because hippos are one of my favorite animals. I love seeing them on safari as well, and I think I'm going to try and find like a plate stand for this so that I can display it. I think that's pretty much all I came back with. I did get a couple of spices from the spice farm, which I'm sure you will see in an upcoming vlog at some point, because if you remember, I made cinnamon rolls using a tutorial from Craftsy, and Miss Judith, who was leading that class, used Vietnamese cinnamon, and I only had Tesco cinnamon, but now I have Zanzibari cinnamon, so I'm more on Judith's level if I make a recipe with cinnamon again. But anyway, I'm gonna go get my workout in because I haven't eaten today and I'm getting hungry, so I want to do that before I eat, and then I'll let you know my final thoughts on Rebel Witch and on this trip as a whole, which has been amazing. A little bit later today, or maybe tomorrow, we'll see. Yesterday, pretty sharpish, I did finish up Rebel Witch, and I completely understand the criticisms and why people don't think that this stands up to book one, and I definitely agree. I ended up giving this one 4 stars overall, mainly because of my attachment to the characters that we established in book one. I do think that if this had been a sequel to something that was not one of my favorite books of last year, then I would have definitely given it a 3 star, because in terms of the plot, and there's nothing wrong with the plot, it's the pacing of the plot that is a really big issue. I don't know whether this should have been stretched out into a trilogy, because the pacing of the plot really just does not seem to be Kristen Cicerelli's strength. As I said yesterday, like, it's something that I noticed at the end of book one. And so I don't know whether making the series any longer would have made it any better, because I don't know whether this series suffers from being a duology because it doesn't have time for the pace to be a little bit more even and a little slower, or whether it's just that that's not Kristen Cicerelli's style, if that makes sense. But definitely, if I did not enjoy the romance in this series, if I wasn't so attached to the characters, this book probably would have been a massive flop for me. That being said, I just love Gideon and Rune. I don't get attached to romance like I used to, like you probably noticed. My love of romance, like contemporary romance and also romantasy, has decreased over recent years. I don't know whether that's just me personally. I've talked about my theories as to why I personally don't enjoy romance as much anymore, or whether it is like the quality of books, which we have seen decrease over years as books are being edited less and less, which is, both of these are very different subjects that I could talk about in length, but now it's not the time or the place. But because I've had less of an attachment to romance, when I do find a romantic relationship in a book that I do really enjoy, it's a little bit more special for me these days. So I really do love Rune and Gideon. One of my favorite things about this duology is the portrayal of a male victim of sexual assault in a way that does not emasculate them or make them seem weak for being a victim of this, which is not something that I believe. Like, I don't believe that men are weak if they are victims of sexual assault at all, which is why I really love this duology. I just feel like that is a common stereotype and misconception that can very easily be perpetuated in media. So I really appreciate Kristen Cicerelli's representation of this in the Crimson Moth duology. I do think that in this book we had a lot of miscommunication and unnecessary problems thrown into the path of the relationship to prolong the tension, but I also do appreciate like a lot of pining, which has been something that is continuous throughout this relationship. It was a little bit more frustrating in book 2 because we're at a point now where it's like, we know that this is inevitable, so keep drawing it out seems a little bit unrealistic and contrived. But overall, I did still really enjoy this one. Not as much as book 1. I definitely see its flaws. I'm not necessarily disappointed by it because I knew going into it that people had issues. It is disappointing though from the perspective of book 1 being one of my favorite books of last year, and book 2 probably won't make that list, but I still very much enjoyed it, and I'm really glad that I got to it because prioritizing sequels and also anticipated releases is not something I've been doing a whole lot of recently. While we're on the topic of books, actually, there is something that I forgot to include from my Zanzibar haul yesterday, which is This Wicked Fate by Kaylin Bayron, which was very kindly gifted to me by Deb. Deb always brings me a little something and I truly appreciate it. If you don't know Deb does have a channel which I will link down in my description box, and actually her Zanzibar vlog is already up. If you are thinking about Trovatrips all and you want like a traveler's perspective, maybe check out Deb's vlog on this latest one. But this is the sequel to This Poison Heart, which I read recently for an episode of Shelve It or Scrap It, and it was definitely one that I thought I was going to be very ambivalent about and not enjoy, but I ended up really liking it. I think it was my favorite book that I read in that episode. But in the UK, I was struggling to find a hardback of book 2 on Vinted because I didn't want to pay like full price for it. I don't think I could find it full price anyway. So this is a book that was much easier to get hold of in the US, and Deb very kindly did that for me. So once again, a big thank you to Deb. I've been thinking about This Poison Heart a lot, so I really would like to get to This Wicked Fate sometime soon. And now that I own it, it becomes more of a priority because I'm trying to prioritize the books that I own that are already on my TBR, and anything new that I'm hauling is going straight into the stacks. So hopefully it'll come up soon. So in terms of this trip as a whole, I really enjoyed myself in Zanzibar. And I have to say, one of the main reasons I did is because of the people. I have been so blessed through doing Trovatrips to end up surrounding myself with people who are just also very different but get on so well. And it's actually one of my favorite things about hosting Trovatrips, being able to bring people together who would not necessarily have ever have met and watching friendships blossom, because some of the people who have met through Trovatrips that I've either been on or that I've hosted have become like really strong in real life friends, and I really love to see it. And I love the potential for that to happen on trips like this, because I find that everybody who is joining these trips as a solo traveler, like, you're open to friendships, you're open to possibilities, and everyone is kind of in the same boat as you for the most part. Some people do bring along like a friend or a family member and they travel together, but for the most part people are solo, and so they are open to building new friendships, meeting new people. Because of that, I feel like it fosters this really open environment that you don't really get in real life anymore, because I feel like people are super hostile, myself included. Like, if I go to the coffee shop and I just want to sit and read my book, if somebody comes over and tries to talk to me, I'm going to be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I just want to sit and read my book. But when you're in an environment like on a Trovatrip, you are open to these conversations and open to making friends and meeting new people. And I love that about group travel, as well as all of that, which made the trip for me, if I'm being honest. Zanzibar as a place and the trip itinerary, I also really loved. I am somebody who likes to experience when I travel as opposed to see. So sightseeing trips aren't usually my thing. I much prefer to like push myself outside of my comfort zone through activities, which I think Zanzibar definitely achieved. Now, I gotta say, my highlight of the entire trip for me was the inflatable course, like the inflatable assault course that we did, which wasn't actually part of the itinerary. It's just something that we added on. But going back to the people on the trip and the way that they make the trip, like, I don't have a ton of people in my life who would have been so enthusiastic to just go out and do like an inflatable assault course on the ocean. So I love being able to do things like that with people who are equally as enthusiastic about it as I am. And that was so much fun. We had an amazing time. It was chaos in the best way. I also really liked the snorkeling. I am not a strong swimmer, so I did have a life jacket for some of the water activities. If the salt level in the ocean is really high, then like I'm fine. But if it's not, like, I do struggle with things like treading water. So I think even in spite of that not being the strongest swimmer, I didn't really struggle to participate in any of the activities, mainly because there was a life jacket available for me in the second part of the snorkeling, like the second set of snorkeling that we did. But I also really enjoyed going and doing things like that, which, once again, I don't know a whole ton of people who would have been up for that or available to do that in my life. So it's something I wouldn't necessarily have had the opportunity to do without this trip. And obviously the wildlife that I saw was incredible. We saw much more on the safari than we did on Zanzibar, but still in Zanzibar, I mean, the crabs alone, including the one in my life jacket, were really something to behold. So like all of the sea life, the fact that I snorkeled, saw like angelfish, clownfish, starfish, jellyfish, dolphins. Then there was also the different types of monkeys. And then, of course, when we went to safari, my favorite things that I saw were the hyenas at Ngorongoro Crater. The elephants were really something to behold and really magical. I also feel like they do act up for an audience, like they know what they're doing, because it just, some of the things that they do seem a little bit too perfect. And then hippos are one of my favorite animals, and seeing so many of them in such a small space was also super cool. So as somebody who loves animals, being able to go on safari and see them in the wild was truly magical. Like, it's such an odd concept to see them in their natural habitat, but in a way where they're just truly not bothered that humans are there, which proves that they don't fear humans, like they have no reason to be scared. But also their lack of curiosity is also interesting, the way that they don't really register. Like I said, the elephants are a different wavelength, but like the lions just sat next to safari jeeps, not even blinking at humans being right there, was just magical. And I'm so glad that I was able to go on safari. I would like to go back to Tanzania and do like 3 or 4 days in the Serengeti, but there's also a ton of other animal stuff that I actually would like to do in Africa, including, well, actually, top of my bucket list right now is the silverback gorilla trek in, I think it's Uganda. So I'm really hoping that I get the opportunity to do that in the future, hopefully sometime soon, but I mean, we'll see. I have some plans for the future that might interfere with it, but you never know what's going to happen. So overall, I had an amazing time, and Zanzibar is actually probably one of my favorite trips. The people definitely make it, but it being more of an experience-based trip as well is also something that ranks it really highly for me. Nothing will beat Thailand though. Thailand was a dream trip because the way that the group just kind of meshed in that trip will honestly never be beaten. It was truly a magical atmosphere in that trip. But if you guys have watched this vlog and you are interested in getting involved in Trovatrip, joining a group trip for yourself, I do currently, as I've mentioned, have one open for South Korea for next March slash April. It's at the very end of March going into the beginning of April, which is bang in the middle of cherry blossom season, which is super exciting. Obviously the best time to visit Asia. That one is probably a little bit more of a sightseeing trip, but I love Asia from the countries that I've currently experienced from the continent, and I'm really excited to dive into the culture and immerse myself in South Korea. It's going to be a great vibe. So if that sounds interesting to you, the link is always in my description box and you can book this trip, providing it doesn't sell out. There's currently 10 spots available out of 24. Providing that it doesn't sell out, this trip will be available to book until I think January or February next year. So you have some time if you want to think about it, but don't wait too long. So that is about it for this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope that you've enjoyed it if you've made it this far. I have had so much fun on my adventures and on my travels at this time, and I hope that it really shows throughout this vlog. I'm actually really excited to start editing so I can relive some of the moments of this trip, even though a lot of the best moments, the highlights of this trip are something that will only exist in my memory. But I do hope you've enjoyed coming along for the ride with me. If you have, please don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.